Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and wow, that Boruto episode 189, was absolutely incredible. This is arguably the best episode of Boruto, along with episode 65. Like, this episode, they went absolutely bonkers with this episode. The art style was amazing. I hope it comes back, because it looks like we're going back to the traditional style in next week's episode, but the art style in this episode was amazing. The animation, I mean, what else can I say? It was absolutely incredible in this episode. Just absolutely great. Man, this episode, it was just so enjoyable. But, yeah, I'm at a loss for words. That's how great this episode was, so, I guess I should start reviewing now. So, yeah. Portion of the start of this episode is Kawaki versus Garo. And like I said, incredible animation. Some of my favorite highlights in this battle is when Kawaki is fighting with his jugo-like arm, which he can just seemingly grow like repeatedly. It seems kind of infinite, considering his body as a scientific ninja tool, as we learn later in the episode. Seems like he can create these seemingly infinitely, and he uses it to battle against Garo. And there's a pretty neat part where he knocks a bunch of blocks on the ground and bounces between them and just starts cutting Garo up. That was pretty cool. And then he takes his those parts from his body and literally uses it as skates and starts skating across the battlefield and starts battling Garo that way. So that was awesome as well. At some point in this battle, Garo's face turns red, and seemingly at this point none of Kawaki's attacks work. There's this little cool sequence where he takes Kawaki and just body slams him on the ground and then throws him up in the air and is seemingly about to finish him off. But Kawaki takes like a little bit from his body part, or whatever that is that comes out of his arm, and he uses it to stop Garo's attack at the last minute. But at this point, Kawaki is basically run out of energy, and he tries another attack and it does no damage. And Garo, he's not showing any mercy. He basically takes Kawaki and body slams him once again on the ground, shoving his face right in the ground, and picks him right up. And is seemingly about to finish him off completely. And Delta and Kashin Koji are over here kind of spectating. Even Delta's like, man, I should have just replaced Garo's brain, because, this guy's an idiot. He's actually going to kill Kawaki at this point. Boruto tries to interfere as well, but Garo spots it. And Konohamaru jumps in the way and tells Boruto to stand down. And basically he manages to deflect Garo's attack, which destroys a tree in the background, by the way. Just that one blast did that much damage, by the way. That just shows how strong Garo is over here, despite the fact that something's about to happen to him in just a few minutes, but we'll get to that in just a minute. But yeah, Konohamaru tells Boruto and the others that, this just changed. This mission just elevated to an S-rank mission, so we gotta be careful, so stand down. The most important thing is that I need to protect you guys at this point, because, things are going crazy. That's for sure. But Kawaki isn't done yet. He still hasn't used his trump card yet, which is the Karma Seal. Kawaki hates the Karma Seal. He doesn't like it because it's not his own power. And obviously it's a curse that's basically ruined his life at this point. But in this moment it actually saves him and gives him an incredible boost in power. And it's shown off really well here. So as soon as Kawaki activates his Karma Seal, Boruto's activates as well due to resonating with Kawaki's. So as Boruto is struggling on the ground here, Kawaki, on the other hand, he's showing absolutely no mercy to Garo. He immediately blows off one of Garo's pincer arms, which was holding Kawaki up. And Garo, at this point, is in desperate mode. He starts blasting Kawaki with his other pincer arm until it starts short-circuiting and no longer works. So Garo has absolutely nothing at this point, as Kawaki basically walks up to him and coldly just runs right through him with his sage-like technique, which is even more powerful than before. Now, this next scene was incredible. One of the best executed moments in the episode, and one of the best in the series so far. Garo is basically skewered by Kawaki's technique. He's spitting up. He's sweating. He's crying. He's turned pale. He's hyperventilating. He's freaking out because he knows he's about to die. And he's begging Kawaki for his life. He's saying, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I hurt you. Please, don't kill me. Please. I'll do anything. And Kawaki just coldly looks at Garo over here and just tells him calmly, your breath stinks, pig. And blows him up and blows half of his body off instantly like that. And the blast is very powerful because it takes the entire area and blows it up. And if it wasn't for Boruto having his karma seal activated, everybody there would have just been blown to bits and been killed along with Garo. Yeah, Boruto actually saves everybody's lives here by absorbing the technique. And like I said, Garo is basically blown to bits, and I was actually surprised. I thought they were going to censor this scene, but they showed Garo having, half of his body blown off and shown here, so gotta give kudos here. I wasn't expecting the anime to go this far. But this whole scene, man, what an amazing scene. Now, Kawaki talks with Boruto and the others one last time for this episode. And he still doesn't believe that Boruto and the others aren't part of Kara. He's still convinced that they're after him. And he even tells Boruto that, yeah, for someone that doesn't know what the karma seal is, you sure do know how to use it. Which Boruto at this point is like, why are you being so stubborn? Come on. We are not part of Kara. But unfortunately for Kawaki here, he seems to overheat and passes out as a result. So Katasuke actually goes over to check out Kawaki's body as he's become curious about Kawaki and suspects that there's something up with his body. So he takes a blood sample, does a science experiment, and that sample turns into one of his body parts that he was injecting from his arm earlier in the battle. And then he basically tells the others that, yeah, after inspecting Kawaki, that his body is basically a scientific ninja tool, which is even more incredible than Ao and even Kashin Koji, the person they fought earlier. And goes on to say that, yeah, his body is a work of art. Now, obviously, after witnessing that, realizing that Kawaki is a vessel, that Kara's after, and with all this stuff going on between inner and outer members, yeah, they can't just leave Kawaki there, so that's when they decide to take Kawaki back to the village. Well, maybe not in next week's episode, but they're going to eventually take the boy back to the village. And we get to see a shot of Naruto, which is actually really nicely done in this art style as well. And that's pretty much where the episode comes to an end. Oh, another thing I want to mention before I actually close off the summary portion of the review. So, Delta over here actually wants to intervene and take out the Leaf Shinobi herself. Being an inner, she probably could take them out considering how exhausted they are and considering how strong she's shown to be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Boruto and the others would be having a bit of a hard time against her, but Koji actually tells her to step down and that he needs a little bit more intel before they actually take the vessel back to Jigen. So Delta decides to step down as well, taking Koji's command, and they both leave the scene. So, more on them later. Now again, I could go on all day about how incredible the animation was in this episode, how incredible the fight choreography was between Kawaki and Garo, how incredible the art style looked in this episode. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I just want to say I want to give kudos to everybody that worked on this episode. You deserve praise because this episode was top notch. One of the best episodes of Boruto. Arguably even better than episode 65. That's kind of a, a hot take there, but it could actually be better than episode 65. Like, this episode was incredible. It expanded the manga material and it did it in an incredible way. Like, this battle in the manga, I honestly didn't really care for it that much. It was definitely interesting, but it wasn't anything like spectacular. It wasn't like this big battle that happened in the manga. But this episode, it took that battle and made it incredible. And I love the anime for doing that. So, again, kudos to the anime staff because you definitely went the extra mile for this episode. It was just incredible. Now, not to go into spoilers, as I know some anime-only viewers watch these episode reviews, but I just want to say that there's some upcoming fights that are even better than this one coming up. And I just want to say right now, I want to see this art style and this animation and this choreography for those fights. I want to see that because, my goodness, if this episode could deliver like this, I want to see that in those episodes and future episodes because, man, this was just incredible. And I want to see this more often in the series going forward. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. This episode was a 10 out of 10. I can't give it anything less. I can't think of anything I didn't like in this episode. It was just fantastic. Well executed, and one of the best, if not the best, Boruto episode to date. And I hope future episodes are like this episode. So guys, in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. Did you love this episode? Are you one of the few people that didn't like this episode? Because I'm not sure how you could actually dislike this episode, just saying. But anyways, post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you all later, and you have a great day or night wherever you're at. And peace. Kawaki is awesome.